There's a fabulous atmosphere at Wembley today as we take then a check on the two teams. And in his pursuit of the right blend, the right formation, Terry Venables has changed his assembly again. From Thursday's draw with Sweden, he's brought back David Batty, Stuart Pearce, Gary Neville and John Scales. This at the expense of John Barnes, Peter Beardsley, Warren Barton and the injured Gary Pallister. Graham Lasso will have a more advanced role on the left flank with Pearce operating behind him. Batty is restored to the anchor role in midfield, shielding the back line, in which Neville and Scales are straight swaps for Barton and Pallister. Paul Gascoigne, again a success as a substitute against the Swedes, is still held in reserve as he seeks full match fitness. Well, Brazil's lineup is one of flair and invention. Zeti doesn't look perhaps the most proficient goalkeeper I've ever seen, but ahead of him, well, there's so much to admire. The relative newcomers, Roberto Carlos, Juninho, Edmundo, Ronaldo and Cesar Sampaio, mixing in so comfortably with the more recognised names, Jorginho, Marcio Santos, Aldair Zinho, and of course Dunker, such an inspirational captain. So going into today's last match of the series, it's just a question of who finishes first and who finishes second. Only a win will suffice for England. A draw or, of course, defeat would mean Brazil will take the trophy. Sweden have earned third place ahead of a plucky Japan team after yesterday's 2-2 draw between the two nations in Nottingham. The referee this afternoon is from Italy, Pierluigi Pairetto. England hoping for the right display to help allay fears currently being expressed in many quarters about Venables' prospects of achieving success in the European Championships. So England then, in their all-dark strip today, attacking the goal to our right. And here's Gary Neville of Manchester United taking the throw. Now Scales, who came on for Pallister against the Swedes when Pallister had to go off injured, didn't look fully fit throughout, it has to be said, Pallister. England certainly at times in some disarray at the back. The Brazilians straight into their stride here. Juninho, such an exciting talent. But then the ball given away by Edmundo. And England have possession again through Gary Neville. Another chance for him to show his work in the right back position. Taking over from Warren Barton. Batty there biting into the tackle. No surprise that Batty was brought back, and I think to curb the threat today of Juninho. Juninho, the latest to wear the famous number 10 shirt in a Brazilian team. And the most famous of all is here today, Pelé in the crowd. Now Darren Anderton, one player who has certainly flourished since Terry Venables has taken charge of the England team. Shearer. Now Batty, looking to drive his way past Dunga. Pearce. The block by Jorginho. And it'll be a corner to England. Stuart Pearce, who may have thought his England days were numbered when Graham Lasso was promoted into the team ahead of him by Terry Venables. But now the coach has found a way to accommodate both of them. Scales has come up for the kick. Taken by Darren Anderton. Down by Sheringham. And it squirms away for another corner. Colin Cooper. Surely that was a corner. So plenty of aerial threat from England with Cooper and Scales both coming up and Sheringham too. Anderton with the kick again. Wasn't a bad one either, met by John Scales, but Clapp failing to keep it in. Well, no, he hadn't gone over the line. I think everybody stopped him for a moment. Lasso with a cross, Sheringham's header, and Shearer inches away. And Brazil's marking was all over the place there. Zeti looking in vain for a linesman's flag, I think. Lasso with that deep cross, well met by Sheringham, and that's how close Alan Shearer was to making a decisive contact. Shearer, who's yet to score in this competition, and just 2 in his last 11 games now for England. Sheringham, who had a fine match against Sweden, and the two in tandem looks to be just about the best combination England have had up front for a while. Shearer and Teddy Sheringham. Up line from Lasso. Now Shearer. Certainly hasn't produced his best form in this tournament. But undoubtedly, of course, an outstanding striker, as his 34 goals in the Premier League testify for last season. And England setting about their task with great purpose so far. So, a threat down the left side. The Brazilians themselves have been fairly critical of England and their displays in the Umbro Cup. They haven't been too impressed. Now that's when it did appear the ball had gone out of play. Once the Brazilians stopped, Platt kept going, and England almost had their reward. Obviously Zeti thought it had crossed the line. Lasso with Batty. Zinho. Now Roberto Carlos. Always a danger when he has the ball on the left flank for Brazil. He has pace and invention. He scored that cracking goal to, of course, the opener against Japan. Brazil winners by 3 goals to 0. Edmundo with Zinho. This is Edmundo, the man they call the animal, with his somewhat volatile approach to the game. Dunga. Outside of the boot, Juvinho. Roberto Carlos. 2 players arriving in the middle. It was just beyond them. But there we saw the menace of the Brazilians and their sure-footedness around the penalty box. Little 1-2 there. Roberto Carlos, who plays for Palmeiras in Brazil, but has been linked with a possible move to Serie A in Italy next season. Which is hardly surprising, considering the way he's played in this particular event. Sheringham, battling well. Hit off by Shearer. Darren Anderton at full stretch, released by Aldair. Anderton with 2 goals in the Umbro Cup. An absolute corker, of course, to earn England that 3-3 draw right at the last gasp against Sweden. David Platt. There goes Batty, such a competitive, abrasive player. But the Brazilians sweeping forward again now. Ronaldo setting himself up for the shot off the post. Well, it's not the first time he has struck the woodwork in the Umbro Cup, and Flowers was left stranded then by the quickness of his feet. Switching inside John Scales, and off the upright and away to safety. Anderton. This has the makings of an excellent game. The surface just a little greasy on top with the rain that's been falling. Shearer now. Placed by Cesar Sampaio. And it was Aldair with the clearance. Anderton. Looking to stretch Brazil down the flanks. That'll be part of the English game plan. But Brazil showing they're prepared to work as well as turn on the skills. 10 minutes gone in the first half. In this final match of the Umbro Cup, England against Brazil at Wembley. David Platt almost on the goal line. Anderton with the corner. England's 3rd of this first half. Sheringham who arrived again then. Now Stuart Pearce. Telesinky back to Anderton. Roberto Carlos, though, in quickly with the tackle. He's good defensively as well as going forward, Roberto Carlos. Edmundo. Options arriving ahead of him now with Jorginho down that right side, away from Lasso. Juninho. Neville wanting the keeper to come for it. Flowers almost struggling. A piece of improvisation then from Juninho. England scooting out. Teddy Sheringham. Now Pearce. There's a really good feel to the game so far. Pearce rampaging forward. Played in towards Shearer. Now Dunga. Foul by Pearce. I think Dunga know what he's about. John Scales of Liverpool. Now then to young Gary Neville. Second cap. They played in the opening game against Japan. And of course a reward for his excellent progress for Manchester United during the last campaign. Cesar Sampaio, one of the Brazilians who plays his club football now in Japan in the J-League. Edmundo. Controversial but gifted. Ronaldo. Now Dunga. It all flows through him. Cesar Sampaio has a holding role just in front of the back line. Roberto Carlos. Now Zinho. Ronaldo. Edmundo. Didn't really get behind that one though, Edmundo. He has this dreadful disciplinary record. He was sent off 5 times last season, 7 times in his career. And he's been involved in all kinds of scuffles and altercations down the years. Ronaldo at 18, so much ahead of him. 25 goals in Holland last season. During this past season, Ronaldo, 30 in the league for PSV. Zinho. Alea. Patient approach play from the Brazilians. They say they're amazed at the speed at which England play their game. It's constant speed, they say. So you've got to change gear now and again. Well, Terry Venables, I'm told, have taken on board all the criticism and remarks this week from the Brazilians. And no question, he has been very impressed by the way the world champions have played here. The early signs do suggest England will be a match for them this afternoon. Gary Neville here, who has the task down the right side of keeping Roberto Carlos in check with his surging runs forward. Neville advancing himself now, linking well with Anderton. Good tackle though by Roberto Carlos. So quick to recover then, the Brazilian. Now Neville, he does possess a long throw. A dangerous one, and then an almost lone goal by Marcio Santos. Certainly had his goalkeeper Zetti scampering across, waiting for the corner. Could have been more serious then for Brazil. Marcio Santos, who's just had his first season in Italy with Fiorentina. And wasn't really an overwhelming success. Not from Sheringham, he's got a second chance till he was hauled down. But no, it hasn't been given. I certainly thought for a moment then his legs have been whipped away from underneath him. We'll see it again, I'm sure, in a moment on the replay. But that was definitely an escape then for Brazil. Sheringham shaping up for the second shot. And Cesar Sampaio, well, did he connect with him then? Zagallo wanting a little more from his team. Renowned for playing their beautiful game, of course, Brazil. And the way they performed in the earlier matches in the tournament was certainly a throwback to the days of Pelé and Tostão and Gerson and all those other wonderful players they've had in the past. The 1970 team reckoned to be just about the best that's ever existed in world football. Here's Dunga. The intervention, though, by David Batty. Then Anderton's given it away. Platt. Neville. Movement ahead of him from Anderton. Just kept it in. Roberto Carlos. Well, he may not think so, but the whistle has gone for a foul. Look at his powers of recovery there, Roberto Carlos. But he's certainly nudged Anderton aside somewhat brusquely. So free kick to England. Stuart Pearce is going to take it. I think a swing one over with that trusty left foot of his. A posse of England players waiting in the middle, among them John Scales. Now, can he get some quality on the cross here? Shearer, Platt, and Sheringham in there as well. But not deep enough. Graham Lasso to fire it back through! Lasso has scored for England. 38 minutes gone. Planted so accurately beyond the goalkeeper. I think he may just have got his hand to it, Zeti. He's hit it on the volley. And yes, the keeper has brushed it in. Superbly struck by Lasso. And the efforts of Zeti not enough to prevent England from taking the lead against the world champions. Graham Lasso with his first goal for England. And that really has the crowd on its feet now. Well, they've played with plenty of heart, plenty of endeavour, England. And now Terry Venables can relax a little, having seen them sneak the advantage thanks to Graham Lasso. And that was reaction on the bench as the ball hit the back of the net. No one cheering more enthusiastically than Paul Gascoigne, who I'm sure will get his chance to shine again later in the proceedings. The gamble of playing Lasso and Pearce seems to have paid off. It was Pearce who supplied the initial cross that led to the goal. Offside. Well, Terry Venables has been saying all week he feels the criticism of his team has been a bit over the top, a bit too harsh. He says we're building for next year. That's the tournament that really matters. But having said that, I'm sure he was as anxious as anyone to see a good display by England this afternoon. A display with more conviction, I think, is what we're all looking for. And the signs are encouraging. Here's the goal again. The cross whipped over by Pearce. Maybe Brazil thought they cleared the danger. And Zeti at full stretch could only palm it in. Zinho. Ronaldo letting it run on. No, Edmundo rather. There's Ronaldo with the shot. Oof. Just for a moment then, Flowers, who was caught after making the save, just for a moment I thought he'd let it squirm away from him. He's unhappy at Edmundo following through. But of course against Sweden, it was the fumble by Flowers that led to the second goal. And he failed to hold on to a shot by Sundgren. And Hakan Mill nipped in to score. And this time he's got away with it. Yeah, there's a little nick then that was totally unnecessary by Edmundo. Jorginho and Dunga going for the same ball. A good first half for England. Graham Lasso with the only goal of this final match in the Umbro Cup so far on 38 minutes. The half-time score at Wembley is England 1, Brazil 0. Brazil starting the second half, now going from left to right as we look. This is Cesar Sampaio. Just that one real scare for England in the first half, and Ronaldo hit the post. Otherwise, they've defended resiliently. Certainly some sharp tackling from David Batty, which may not have gone down too well with the Brazilians. But it's enabled England to win back possession so often. Terry Venables went in at half-time against Sweden when England was just 2-1 down. I think fairly encouraged at that stage. He felt they could turn it round, but then, of course, Sweden struck right at the start of the second period with a third goal, and it was all uphill for England from there. Edmundo trying to turn Batty. He's almost in his hands and knees there. Edmundo. David Batty takes no prisoners. Edmundo not impressed. Still gingerly feeling his latest injury there, almost on the penalty spot, Edmundo. Now, this is where the Brazilians are so skillful. Roberto Carlos, the number 6, may well strike this one. He has a lethal left foot. There's Juninho as well on his right. Brilliant goal. Juninho has the Brazilian entourage on their feet and their fans in the stadium. Their creative flair, their instincts to the fore again. Curled wickedly into the corner beyond Tim Flowers by Juninho. Well, any of the Brazilians' greats would have been proud of that one. Pelé, Zico, Socrates, you name it. The goal on 54 minutes, and Brazil have drawn level. England 1, Brazil 1. Juninho. Flat for England. Well, this is the test of England's character now. Having forced their way in front, Terry Venables, I'm sure, will have urged upon them at half-time to keep it going, keep playing the same way. But now the early blow has been struck in the second half by Brazil. You never know what they're going to come up with on these set pieces. And that was another stunning free kick by Juninho. Here's Lasso. Looking to stretch Aldair. Jorginho to help him out. Dunga. Zinho. I think we've got a match on now. Darren Anderton for England. Shearer with a clever layoff for Teddy Sheringham. That's an intelligent run by Anderton. Hasty clearance by Zetti. It was a back pass he had to deal with there. Anderton off to Neville. He was somewhat hurried. I'm sure they're discussing that down on the bench now. Don Howe wearing his latest hat. Becoming famous now for his choice of headgear for these occasions. Tells me he's seeking a sponsor. Roberto Carlos. Drilled in low, but straight at John Scales. Here's Marcio Santos. All the way back to Zetti. They don't seem to worry so much about their goalkeepers, Brazil. They have so many outstanding outfield players. Zetti is the latest to give you the jitters. Neville. Attendance today, 67,318. So an excellent turnout for the visit of the world champions. And of course, if it stays this way, then Brazil will be the winners of the Umbro Cup. England need at least one more goal. Cesar Sampaio. On by Aldair. This is Juninho. His kick skills. Such a wonderful balance he has. Jorginho into Ronaldo, who's not finding it easy this afternoon, the 18-year-old. Not the likes of Batty around, snapping at his heels all the time. Well, they'll enjoy the occasion, whatever the outcome. Most flamboyant supporters in the world, those who follow the samba-playing Brazilians. That's what their style is known as, the samba style, with the accompaniment. Continual support from the crowd. They never seem to stop cheering and singing and chanting, playing the drums, bashing the tambourines. An hour gone. It's Edmundo for Brazil. England 1, Brazil 1. Dunga. Edmundo's continued his run through. That's opened up some space here for Juninho. Quickly confronted though by David Platt. Sheringham. Again, some neat skill, but asking too much of Shearer. Zinho. Juninho. Oh, slid on. That's a beautiful ball. Ronaldo! England were carved apart then. Ronaldo with a finish. And Pelé applauding as loudly as anyone. That was the goal right out of the Brazilian textbook. And so tidily finished by Ronaldo. Juninho splitting England's defence. Ronaldo pouncing onto it in a flash. Nothing Flowers could do from there. Once he was committed, look at that left foot, right foot, and Brazil have the lead. 61 minutes gone. Ronaldo, his first goal of the competition. A beaming smile from the youngster. And a goal to admire then from Brazil. Right out of the top draw, that one. Such vision shown by Juninho, and such clinical finishing by this man, the number 9, Ronaldo of PSV Eindhoven. They've talked about him as being the successor to Pelé, as the latest idol for the Brazilian fans. And certainly the great man himself looking on, will have admired his work. So cool in steering it in. It's a yellow card for Colin Cooper. And Terry Venables, not so much to smile about now. England in charge at half-time. Good interception by Cooper. The former fullback turned centre-half. Almost turned striker there. Back pass from Roberto Carlos. Who then hurtles it to the challenge. He reckoned there was an elbow. Can be a bit impetuous at times, Roberto Carlos. Now there's going to be a booking. Is it for the Brazilian? Well, this isn't so much of a friendly now. He's still complaining about Sheringham, who sees him coming. Now, is there an elbow here? Well, I can't see it. Free kick curled over. Only partially away, but far enough. Down goes Juninho yet again, having just returned to the fray. He has such a slight frame that he is easily bundled over, but having said that, some of the assaults on him by David Batty have been quite uncalled for. But then that's David Batty for you. So a caution for Roberto Carlos, the Palmeiras defender. Gary Neville with the free kick for England, trailing by 2-1, 18 minutes to go. 2 bookings apiece now. Zinho, Roberto Carlos. Rather un-Brazil-like, hoisting it upfield. You chase that one, but I wouldn't think it's too long before Paul Gascoigne makes his latest entrance. Just getting himself wound up there on the bench. The Brazilians do admire him. Dunga, the driving force for Brazil in midfield. And his team have the edge again. Say again, because England, of course, scored first, but Brazil looked the more likely scorers maybe earlier on than that. Ronaldo hitting the post, and he's finally got his reward with Brazil's second goal. But it has been an improved showing by England, and they can at least take encouragement from that, whatever the final result. Juninho. Dunga. Marcio Santos. You just have that feeling that the Brazilians are playing a little within themselves, and then when they step on the gas, off they go again. Juninho. Anderton for England. And they need to get him more involved. It's a good tackle, though, by Marcio Santos. Here comes Brazil again. Until Batty intervenes. Again, the service to Alan Shearer just not good enough. Can't benefit from that. Cesar Sampaio keeping an eye on Alan Shearer. Now Brazil looks like they're going to make a change. Giovanni getting his first taste of the competition. Anderton. Little burst of speed then, almost took him clear. Cesar Sampaio, who made the intervention, but now here's Edmundo at the other end. Is this another one? It's 3! Edmundo has caught England on the break again, to the absolute delight of Tele. They sprung so quickly then from defence to attack, and England proving so vulnerable. It came off the head then of Stuart Pearce. That has totally wrong-footed Colin Cooper. Away goes Edmundo, picks his moment, and slides it. I would think they're under the body of Tim Flowers. But the damage had already been done. And it's cool finishing by Edmundo. 76 minutes the time of the third goal. And maybe now that has ended England's challenge for the Umbro Cup. Here's Scales. Batty. From Lasso. They haven't looked as menacing in the second half, England. Maybe they can now with Stuart Pearce. Another of those driving runs of his. Lasso away down the left. He's pulled back the cross well towards Shearer. Anderton. It goes Pearce and Sheringham. Pitched it away by Zetti. Platt, and then Pearce off the bar. Shearer! It should have been. Pearce who struck the crossbar. Well, right across the goal, but he'll be disappointed there. He's done so well. with his challenge on Roberto Carlos. Fisted out by Zetti. There was no offside flag against Sheringham, and Shearer hasn't hit it cleanly. Paul Gascoigne is off. Juninho is finally going off. Leonardo on to replace him. Here's his goal again. Flowers certainly to one side of the goal, and couldn't get across in time. Brazil 6 minutes away from victory. They are first in 6 matches against England. Gascoigne will have other ideas. Looking to release Collymore. Good acceleration from him. Oh, Shearer hurtling it at the far post. And he wasn't too far away then. Good cross by Collymore, who was accelerated away from Aldair. He's just overhit it, but he's curled it beyond the keeper well enough. Gazza's fired up. He's going to enjoy this last few minutes. He feels himself, he's ahead of schedule. He hadn't expected to play again until certainly July. Not expected to be back in any kind of action, so he feels he's doing well to be even involved. Just a handful of appearances from Gascoigne at the end of the season for Lazio. Of course, he hasn't started a game for England since, well, March of last year. Dunga. As Brazil look to step on the pedal again. Edmundo. Zinho. A rare mistake by him. Off goes Collymore. It's a great opportunity. There looked to be a trip then which put him off his stride. But he kept going and the chance failed to materialise. He looked to be clear then, Collymore. I felt there was just a little nick on him. Let's see it again here. Dreadful mistake by Edmundo. Collymore, who has terrific pace, and there, Aldair just caught him. We've had a couple of minutes now of stoppage time. And there will be some more to add on from referee Pyretto. Well, not too much, because there is the final whistle. And Brazil have won the Umbro Cup. A 100% record inspired today by Juninho, one of their goal scorers, in a 3-1 success. All this after England had taken the lead through Graham Lasso 7 minutes from half-time. England looking good at that stage, but some encouragement certainly for England. A better performance than in their first 2 games, as the players swap shirts and the goalkeepers agreeing that they'll swap their jerseys afterwards. The 2 number 9s, Ronaldo and Alan Shearer, who's had by his very high standards a disappointing tournament overall. Certainly had a great chance to score towards the end. And it's all about celebrating now from the victorious Brazilian team. They will be presented with the trophy from the president of FIFA, the Brazilian, of course, João Havelange, who's here today, along with the legendary Pelé. And it would seem many thousands of Brazilian supporters making themselves heard in their own colourful and flamboyant fashion. Dunga, who has had an outstanding tournament. Well, he's really got involved in it, Pelé. The man everyone in Brazil looks up to. The Umbro Cup then has been won by Brazil, held aloft by Dunga. So there it is. The Umbro Cup goes to Brazil. England finish in 2nd place. The final score from the final game at Wembley this afternoon. England 1, Brazil 3.
And the way Brazil played in that second half, said their coach after the match, is the way of the future for Brazil, and who will not wish it to be so. Brazil now go on to contest the Copa America in July, while England will try to fashion a team for the challenge of Euro 96 with a host of friendly matches. Well, now, just before we go, recapping tonight's headlines, Australia's elimination in the quarter-finals from the Rugby World Cup looks set to see personnel changes in the future.